Hi, I'm Baby Lee Carter, and I just exposed my business on BizLink's TV network. Learn how you can enhance your next event with my delicious cakes and cheesecakes that are made with love. Coming up on my episode of That's My Biz on bizlinks.tv.
That's My Biz is sponsored by Visita Live Site and Constant Contact. Hello, and welcome to another episode of That's My Biz. I'm Pamela Alexander, your host, and as always, we enjoy bringing to you the wonderful businesses, nonprofits, and associations that we meet when we're out there networking. We want to bring to you another great business today, but first I want to remind you, make sure that you check all the shows out at www.bizlinks.tv. Also, you can check out our social media properties. You know where to find us. We're BizLinks TV everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You won't have a hard time looking for us. Make sure that you give us some comments, give us some feedback, and some thumbs up as well. We always appreciate you all joining us and giving us that feedback in your comments. So, our guest today is Miss Baby Lee Carter with Baby Got Cake. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And yes, her name is Baby. So that's always a fun starter with that too, I'm sure, when everyone's like, excuse me. But now I'm going to tell you, she has Baby Got Cakes is a perfect name for it because Baby has cake. She has some fantastic flavors for you, and she has a fantastic story on how this business got started. So first, Baby, I want you to just share with us how you got into baking cakes.
Absolutely. Well, I started, actually my great-grandmother, who lived to be about 106 years old, taught me how to bake when I was about 12 years old. And well, she wasn't 106 when she taught me. Actually, she was about 103. And she said, "Come on in here. I want to show you the family recipe." And I got ready to write down everything, And she's like, "No, put the pencil and paper away. This is the family recipe. Nobody gets this." So that's one of the unique things about my cake is that it's a family recipe. And rest her soul, I still bake to this day, and I've created some of my own additional flavors. And that people really enjoy. So
wow, and that's such a wonderful legacy to pass down.
Absolutely.
I know my mom was a master baker for her sour cream pound cake, and unfortunately I didn't hang around in the kitchen long enough. I was off in the book somewhere and didn't hang around in the kitchen long enough to truly learn how to make that cake, and I miss it so much today. So being able to have that legacy and pass it on down, but then sharing it with everyone out there as well. So you learned the recipe, got it down in memory. So now what was the first cake? What was the first flavor?
The first cake that she taught me how to make was a butter pound cake, and I'm telling you what, when I first started making it, because I didn't have anything written down, I was missing a lot of things. Okay. So people were like, "This is horrible," So I thought, well, and I sat down and tried to remember everything that she said. And once I got all my ingredients down, by then I was probably about 17 years old. Got all the ingredients down, and people were just begging for this cake. And by the way, you talked about your mom baking the sour cream cake. That's not one that my grandmother taught me, but I think I'm gonna make one for you, and
I'll let her know.
We'll compare.
Right, absolutely. Great testing ground. I don't mind being the tester. That was my role: lick the bowl and be the tester. So you started with that flavor, and that was great in your teens. So now, when did it become more of where you said, I can make this a business?
Exactly. I think by the time I was about 18 years old, and I'm really getting into baking, I had expanded some of my flavors, which include lemon and chocolate. And these days now I make sweet potato pound cake and almost any flavor. I really kind of stick to 7 main flavors, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But, I think that by the time I was 18 years old, I decided that this is something that could be a business for me. And I had an aunt and uncle in California who had a restaurant, and I started baking for them. By the time I was 21, I was their official bakery chef, and so, been doing it ever since.
Wow. Now, and what this reminds me of, a great book, Entrepreneur Myth, or the E-Myth is what it is. And because the example throughout the book is talking about this lady that bakes pies and how, everyone said, oh, you should, have a bakery. And it goes through the process of just the difference in baking something or being someone that bakes great pies, in this scenario cakes, to actually running a business doing it. So talk to me a little bit about the mechanics of what you had to do to really get it off the ground as an actual business, as opposed to kind of just doing it and people paying you for it.
Absolutely. Well, I started and I really still do work mostly out of my home. You know, I bake. I bake all my orders from home. It's my goal now that I live in Atlanta area. I've been here about 3 years, and I'd really love to get a shop here.
Okay.
You know, and take my business to, you know, beyond. You know, right now it's been very successful out of the home.
Okay.
But I'd like to expand it out to where people can have a place to come, you know, and drink a cup of coffee, cup of tea, and have a slice of my delicious cake, you know, or cupcakes, or, you know, and just really enjoy themselves. And then I've got some other ideas I'm throwing out there. I'm not going to mention them because somebody might take that idea.
Okay.
But there's some other ideas I'll do with my live business, you know. I mean, out in the public,
Right. I love that. And because part of this show is we always like to make sure that we're providing some lessons on building your business. And, you know, one of the first ones, because I know you already got your paper and pen, I have to tell you this time, one of the first ones is, you know, start out small. Start in your home. You don't have to immediately say, I've got to go get this physical location and start this bakery, but, you know, start small and then grow with it, so that you don't kind of crash and burn. You know, in those first 5 years, so many businesses do fail because they just start running with it and making all these investments before they really kind of develop and grow the business.
And one of the things I found has been successful for me, and anybody starting a business should also, when it comes to food, you know, I make samples. I actually started off, I didn't mention this earlier, with baking a cake and let's say and slicing it into, you know, 3-4 pieces, and having neighbors and coworkers and people, you know, people that I know, church members, you know, try it out, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is the best cake I've ever eaten. That's a good forward response from them. So I'm thinking, wow, you know, this is really, you know, people. I already knew that they were good, but when they can taste it, then there's no doubt, and then, you know, and that's how it's kind of helped me to keep going. And I you know, I probably should have started you know, got a place and started it, you know, a long time ago to get it going that way, but it's been so successful at home. My next goal, my next step is I'd love to get out there, you know, and have a place people can go to also.
And that's good because, I mean, you started it the right way and really started building that following as well. And another note, here we go, is giving the samples. Sometimes you got to give a little bit away, especially when you're first starting out, to really build that clientele. So providing those samples is great, and, you know, getting into the next levels of what you're doing with marketing. So I'm going to take a quick break. Before I do, first, I want you to tell everyone how they can get in touch with you, and we'll make sure we remind you again near the end, but how they can get in touch with you and order some of your fantastic cakes.
Absolutely. Well, my website is BGG Cake. That's actually short for Baby Got Good Cake.com, BGGcake.com, and place your order there. That shows you how to contact me on there as well. And I look forward to hearing from you and letting you taste some of my delicious cake.
Fantastic. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about those delicious cakes and the flavors that she mentioned. But first, we want to take a break for our sponsors.
Meet Shelley. She can make a Labradoodle look like, well, either one. And she's a marketer. Shelley uses constant contact email to spread the word about her services, whether it's staying in touch with her regular customers or reaching brand new ones. It works for Shelley, and her clients are delighted. Shelley's a marketer, and all it took was constant contact. Try it free.
Visita provides a complete business calendar, fully integrated with your client scheduling experience. You can view and manage your daily schedule and any upcoming meetings, and most importantly, schedule new appointments and follow-ups with your clients. Using Visita Calendar for client scheduling will save you time and deliver a better service to your clients. Visita Calendar automatically syncs with your existing calendar on Google, Outlook, iPhone, and more.
Welcome back, everyone. We want to again thank our sponsors. We know without them this would not be possible. We appreciate them for continuing to support us so that we can keep this show going for you all. We also want to thank you. Of course, your comments are so appreciated. Please continue to do so. You'll be able to do it right here now on the website below the video. You can also make sure that you give us comments and feedback at Facebook as well and on our YouTube channel. But keep it coming. Also, if you know some great businesses, let us know about them. And if you're interested interested in being a sponsor, you can reach out to us at That's My Biz at bizlinks.tv. Now, before the break, we were talking to our fantastic entrepreneur, Miss Baby Lee Carter with Baby Got Cake. You can check her out at bggcake.com. Baby Got Good Cake. So that make it very easy for you to remember. Now, I want to get into, so we were talking a little bit about growing the business and kind of how you started. Now, I want to ask you first, now, do you just do cake, or what's your specialties?
Well, actually, I do cheesecake also and cupcakes.
Okay.
I actually do cookies, but I do only one cookie flavor.
Okay.
And that's because it's that good. I only need to do one cookie flavor.
Okay.
And but yeah, that's my range of what I have.
Okay. So the cakes and the cheesecakes. Now, what about cupcakes?
Cupcakes, yes, I do
Okay.
cupcakes in the same flavors as my cakes.
Okay.
So, yes.
Oh, that's great, because I know at one point cupcakes became really
Right.
popular with everyone. So.
Everybody's doing cupcakes.
Yeah.
That's why I really focus, on the pound cakes. That's the majority of what I do. My orders are, but I'm more than happy to fill those orders with cupcakes if that's what you prefer.
Okay, fantastic. So now let's talk about the flavors, because I've had a chance to taste several of the different flavors that she provides. So tell everyone, what are the flavors?
All right. Well, my flavors are quite simple. 7 flavors. I have butter, vanilla, key lime, chocolate, Jamaican rum, lemon, and sweet potato. Now, we're in Atlanta, so
Yeah.
sweet potato's very popular here.
Yeah, and that's great. And that's a great variety, really. I mean, that's a big range for all the different flavors for people. So there's something for everyone there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, the Jamaican rum cake, now, do you do that all the time, or is that one more season?
It is a seasonal cake, but if
Okay.
a person wants it out of season, I don't have a problem to fill that order for them, yes.
I love that. And the key lime is not just the key lime just as a cheesecake, it's an actual cake.
Exactly. I can do a key lime cake. You've tried my key lime cake, and also cheesecake, and also key lime cupcakes. So yes,
Okay. So there you go. I know your mouth is already watering, but finish watching this episode before you get online and start ordering your own. So now I want to ask, because there's 7 flavors, and there's a significance to it being 7 flavors.
Oh, yes.
Tell everyone about that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a Christian, and I believe that I know that the number 7 represents divine completion. So that's the reason I chose just 7 flavors. And I won't lie, I will make almost any flavor. However, those 7 are the ones that I commit to, because you're going to absolutely love and enjoy any one of those. And you'll probably keep ordering those 7 flavors.
Well, I love that, because, I go certain places, I'm like, I'm not going there for this, because that's not what their specialty is.
Right.
So going when they have a specialty, but
Absolutely.
again, it's something different, because again, the flavors are a fantastic variety
Yes.
of flavors that you have. Now, let me ask you also, because we know we're talking cake, and everyone starts thinking about, health and all that. Now, do you have gluten-free recipes as well?
I absolutely do. I make any of my cakes in a gluten-free restaurant. Gluten-free style. So if you have allergies or such, I can substitute many things in that cake recipe to accommodate any gluten-free customer.
Wow, that's good. So I know that's a big thing right now. So being able to still order these fantastic cakes and know that they can be gluten free,
And they
as
taste
well.
just as good, gluten-free, by the way.
I was going to ask you
You
that.
wouldn't know the
difference.
difference.
I was going to ask you that. I'm not believing all the gluten free. They haven't totally brought me over yet. So knowing that you don't lose in that flavor.
Absolutely. And a lot
is
of people
good.
ask me things for my recipe, and of course, because they're family recipes, I don't necessarily give them away, but I will share one thing. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually substitute your sugar content for applesauce, and it'll be just as sweet. Applesauce and honey, things like that. Of course, if someone's gluten free, you have to check and make sure that it's okay for them to have honey and things like that. But yes, the flavors are just as good.
Well, that's good. So, now, in talking about the business again and getting the business formalized and all of that, I know one challenge, especially since you are home based right now, and I know you talked about wanting to expand and all that. So, being home based. Now, the challenge I want to ask you about is spouses and family that want you to make cakes all the time. So now, do you make cakes for home and family as well?
Now, I'm going to answer that question in a 2-part.
Okay.
So for the spouse, he's always lucking out, because when I bake, I usually have a little leftover, or I'll make him a little tiny mini cake, and he's happy with that. And of course, family when they have orders. Now, I do bake for family as well. They have to pay, because it is a business, but, here and there, sometimes if it's a holiday, I'll go ahead and bring a cake. That's what I bring. And they expect me to bring a cake or something sweet to eat. They kind of get lucky that way.
Right,
So.
that's good.
Yeah.
And I ask that question again for those out there that are starting their businesses. You're a business now, so you have to really be careful depending on what type of business you do and the services that you provide. People always are trying to kind of slide in there. When you see your doctor at a cocktail party and you're asking them, I got this growth right here. So, make sure that you treat everyone that's in a business, treat them as a business. Don't ask for the hookups. We don't want to do that. We want to really, truly value their services. And it can be tough sometimes in working with families. So for those of you all that are working or that have family that's always kind of asking you for that hookup, make sure you remind them that, hey, this is my business. Really, please support me and support my business. So it's great to hear that and that's your experience as well.
I give them a hookup. I'll give you an extra cookie or extra
there
cupcake.
I'll put you on the list when there's extra sitting around, and that's enough. So that is great. Well, baby, it has been fantastic just learning about your business. We want to make sure everyone that you all make sure you go to her website again and give that to them one more time how they can get to you.
All right, you can reach me at bggcake.com, and I'll be looking for your order.
Fantastic. And one thing I didn't ask you, kind of, what's the kind of price range for?
Okay. Well, if you want a whole cake, a full cake, the pound cakes usually run $35. If you're locally, let me say if I have to ship it to you, there would be a shipping charge. But, yeah.
Wow, I mean, that is fantastic. To get a homemade
yeah.
cake is not made by the masses, is not made, I won't call any names, but but to get truly a homemade cake, and a homemade cake that's made with the true love. I know we've visited before, and she just talks about the energy that goes into each and every single cake.
There is definitely love and energy in that cake. For those of us that love baked goods, we can tell the difference from baked or store-bought, and all of love goes into it. As a matter of fact, I won't start an order if I don't feel like my spirit, my mood isn't right there. So when you get that cake, you're just going to be like, oh, this is like Grandma used to make, or this is just so good.
Right, fantastic. And I'm a testimony here. Fantastic cake. So you definitely want to make sure that you go ahead and go online to bggcake.com. Make sure you place that order. Get one of these specialty flavors here that you probably hadn't thought about before. Make sure you visit her. Baby, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, everyone. I'm Pamela Alexander with BizLinks TV Network. Again, reminding you, go to www.bizlinks.tv. Check out the new exciting site that we have for you. Very interactive. Go and give us some comments out there as well when you see this episode. Also, check out the other episodes that are in the archives, and check out our other fantastic shows as well. Go to us on our social media properties, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. We're out there, all under BizLinks TV. Until next time, remember, we're exposing your business to the world.